Hello, it's our TED Talk class. Today's topic is our hunger crisis, and we will talk about hunger, about starvation, about children, all the pleasant things. And we have a video to start, and we have a volunteer to tell us what is the video about. Lynn, please.
Okay, and she talked about cleaning, which I understand is to collect food from one place and sharing to the others. And she talked about
We lost you. Oh. Okay, so it's yes, Leila, please.
Okay, I will try to do my best. I checked the video. It was published in 2016. And what I have understood from the video that they are doing something really good. Hunger crisis in Portland. And I just wrote what Lee wrote. And it is a kind of backyard tragedy for them. And a lot of people, I think a lot of people gather together and try to help the distribution of the food, because the problem is not abundance or production but distribution. And they lean food and get the food to the people in need who feel hungry before going to bed, like children. So here is the urban leaners. I think it's a kind of teamwork, and that's all I can say. It's a kind of rescue company, I believe.
It's some team of volunteers who helping people. What I get.
Especially children.
Yes. Teacher Lee, can you please explain us what is the gleaning? It's some special word.
It's nothing special. It just means to go through something and pick out little pieces of information. I can listen to a lecture and glean a couple of facts that I didn't know before. So it just means to selectively pick through a lot of stuff. So in this case, they look at stores and the city, and they try to glean food from different companies that have it to spare.
Okay. So, any comments? What we like in this video? What we dislike?
As for gleaning, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes.
By the way. Okay. As for gleaning, she mentioned that this was the biblical term. So that gleaning in Bible means that to pick grain after the reapers, right? After it was collected. So the gleaning means to collect what is left in the field. So, and actually this is the idea here. So to collect leftovers, so to say, something which is left unused, So that's the meaning of gleaning.
Yes, it's very logical, man. Okay. So what about this video? What else, Diana? What you like?
I cannot say that I was shocked by the video. I knew about the problem, right? So, and I was probably shocked that it happens in in such a developed, well-developed country. But I used to watch The Biggest Loser, the TV show, and I saw some teams working in the same direction in different parts of the United States. So they were collecting food and giving this food to people in need. So actually, I was surprised then when I saw how many families in the United States are in need, So that was kind of shocking for me. So I don't know. I don't know. So I think that the idea of collecting those products which are not used by I don't know, which are not sold in the supermarkets, is just what should be. It's very logical. So it's nothing extraordinary, but it is so logical that it is unbelievable that people do not do that, before, that they just started doing it now. I don't know. So.
Mm-hmm. So we are talking about the distribution system, right?
Right.
So something is going wrong, and we
absolutely,
and we should to fix it somehow. And it's very it's a first thing. What can we do about this? Fix it. What else? So the question is how, and the question is why it's broken. We already have one distribution system. It's money. People pay to each other, and it is the distribution system, how we distribute our resources in our society, and why it's so broken that we have to build another distribution system to fix the first one. So it's what is my I don't know, the first surprise from this video. Gerard, any thoughts?
The same happens in Spain. Many people need food, and now I think because it's Christmas, we collect food on the supermarket. There are some volunteers who pick up the food that the shoppers put in a bag, in a special bag for them.
Okay. Holly, would you like to add something? No? Holly, you're muted. Okay, okay, Holly? Something wrong with sound, I guess. I don't hear anything, so let's go to the questions, and maybe we will know later. So we have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions today, and I need to choose one. The one from Holly. What are the realities of children going hungry in your area? What do you know about that? Leila, tell us.
The realities. Well, there are a lot of things that I can say in my country. There are a lot of people are unemployed. One. And the second thing is that a lot of people are not earning enough money. So this causes hunger. You know what? I know some people who can't buy meat for their families. So the reality is, just the reality hurts, to tell you the truth, my friend. Lower income, yes, unemployment, poverty, and, I also think about it, migration. A lot of people come to the cities with the hope of finding a good job, and unfortunately, they can't manage that. That's all.
So it's not some hypothetical question for you. You can see it, you can observe it in your life.
Sure.
Lynn, what about you? Can you see that in your life?
Can you hear me?
Yes, but please speak aloud.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
But speak. Sorry. Speak louder, please. We have a big delay. That's why it's hard. Speak louder, please.
Okay. It's more of a political problem here.
So because of
country is, my country is poor.
So because your country is poor, you can watch this problem in your life, right?
Yeah.
You can.
Most people are poor. Most people have low income.
Mm-hmm.
And our currency is not strong enough.
Okay.
Okay.
So they have to work hard. Families.
Okay, so it's not a hypothetical problem for you too.
Yeah.
Okay, like looks like it's not about US. so far. Diana, am I right? Am I right? Do you know such how is it? Does it happen in Ukraine?
Of course, it's a big problem here as well. Nowadays, when we have this, just the level of life is, how to say that? I don't know. Okay, we're also poor, so we are a poor country with lots of difficulties and facing a lot of political, a lot of economical, a lot of different challenges, So of course it's a problem. A lot of people, not only children, but we have a lot of different, like elderly people. Especially elderly people now are, they're struggling. They're really struggling. So it's difficult. It's a difficult situation. So what can I say?
Okay. So it's a world problem. We know it. We know it exactly now. So let me read another question. What we have. Have you ever gleaned food and delivered it directly to an individual or family, an organization who redistributed it? So do we have such people in our chat?
No.
No.
I have never done that.
Because why? Because we can see such organization in our life. Why? Or we don't know about this problem, or we are not willing to help. Why? Leila, please.
The thing is that we don't have any organizations like that, but we do it individually. For example, if somebody needs something, we gather together, some people, and not only food, but also for their basic needs, we try to help them. So it depends on the person. But I can say that I admire this team, because if such a developing country like Turkey has a rescue team like that, believe me, nobody will sell their souls for money.
Sorry, no one will what?
Sell their souls.
Sell their souls for what? Sorry, I did not get it. Explain me more. I'm stupid. I can't understand it.
Oh, Lee wrote it for me. Enslave themselves for money. You see, there are a lot of people who are hungry, who need, believe me, even a sweater, a coat. So every month, my friends and I just try to gather together and try to deliver them some things. But it is not, just a great contribution. We need an organization.
And why you don't have this organization?
Because nobody cares. But those nobody, I mean, the ones. Oh, I'm sorry. The ones. I must be careful. The ones who have a lot of money, or the ones who don't care anything. When they don't want to spend money, I don't understand, but they are really mean. For example, I earn enough money to survive, but I can share my money if somebody needs that. They don't think like me.
So it's not a common thing. It's not ingrained in human brain, right?
Yeah. Ivan, you understand me. Thank you.
And it's a good. I don't know, Holly. Would you like to try your mic now? Try to say something. Still no sound. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Let me repeat the questions.
I'll mention something real quick. I don't think the problem is no one cares, but in my case, for example, let's say I want to help people. I may have a full-time job. So if I have a full-time job, I don't have time to do what this woman did, to go from store to store and arrange things. And number two, I've got bills to pay. So I need money to pay my bills, so I've got to work. Now, if this charity work paid me money, or I could use it to pay my bills and do it at the same time, I'd be happy to do that because I like to help people. The problem is it takes time and money. So for someone to contribute all of their time, they need to be able to get money for it so they can pay their bills, so they can survive while they're helping other people. So that's the difficulty, I think.
I understand. So Leila, please.
Oh no, first you.
So I just want to say there are a lot of troubles. We need to know some organization like that. We need to have time, have resources to help, and first of all, we need to know about the problem, because I don't know, it's not so clear for me that we can share and we should and so on. I never heard before about that before I watched this video. So I know about some organizations who deliver food for people without houses. I don't know how to name that them, but people who don't have works, unemployed, and don't have houses and so on. So we have organizations who feed them, but they don't ask money. They in Russia they receive money from churches, from local government, and so on. So they don't. Maybe they accept donation, but they don't ask for donation. So if you want to help, you just don't know where to go and how to do that. And in the same time, I cannot to knock out in some door in my neighborhood and ask, would you like to get my food? It's impossible. It can be offensive if I do that. And as far as I know, I don't have a person whom to help.
Yes.
So it's like that. Or what I did once, I helped to, how we call it, to shelters who feed the dogs, because they ask for help. They ask for help. I see the, how we call it, advertisement, and I know where exactly bring my money. So it's work this way.
Yeah.
Gerard, Diana, anyone? Go to the next question. Okay. So I will skip questions like, is gleaning a regular practice for you? Because we know. Do you pay careful attention to what is wasted or not wasted from your household? Volunteers? Leila?
It's a bit difficult. When my son left for Rome, I just started cooking only for myself. And then I realized that I couldn't manage to cook only for myself, still wasting food. So I decided to cook every day, just some food that day, the other day another food, but bits and pieces, not a lot. And wasted food, if there is any, I just take it out for the dogs. I put it somewhere so the dogs can eat them. I am trying to do my best not to waste food.
Okay, good. Gerard?
When I cook for my own, but I cook for many rations. For example, if I cook vegetables, I'm not going to cook a portion of vegetables. So I need to cook for 4 or 5 times. So I keep the vegetables on the freezer, and I eat them during some days during the week. So I try don't throw to the garbage leftovers.
Mm-hmm. So no leftovers at all.
Almost. At all is impossible.
Just good planning, good how to say it, good strategy, and it saves you.
Yeah, some people like to eat all things that are just cooked or just made, like in a restaurant. But I don't do that.
Okay. No one else? Any tricks? Dogs usually helps, it's true. But another thing what helps, for instance, my family was poor when I was young, so it's ingrained in my habit. I can't imagine some food wasted because it's not, I just don't used to that. And I was punished many times in my young time when I playing with bread, for instance. So I can't imagine now that I don't know, then food which can be eaten, I will waste. It's impossible. And the same will be the same with my wife's family and so on. So it looks like being in poor country definitely helps. Shirley?
When I was a child, this was after World War II. We're talking the 1960s. At that time, Japan was a very poor country because it had just finished the war and it was devastated and rebuilding. And the trick that our parents used to stop us from wasting food is if we had food in our plate, they would say, "Finish that food. Don't you know there are children starving in Japan?" So they tried to make us feel guilty.
We had Africa for that, you know. Yes.
Well, yes. I definitely heard about Africa too.
Africa, yes. And they are still hungry over there, you know, and it is true.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good. So, question from Vasans. In your country, what are the occasions where people waste food? So if we don't waste food, when people waste food? Where? Why?
Weddings.
Gerard?
Christmas.
Christmas, that's all.
Conference, right.
So we have Christmas, weddings, conferences.
Yes, Lisa. Meetings, maybe.
Probably you, Leila, you visiting another conference than I do. Well,
yeah.
I have never seen leftovers on the conference, but usually I did not get anything because everything is eaten before me. So in general, it's mass events, some celebrations or something like that. When it's hard to predict exact number of members and so on. So if you doing big weddings, how is it, large, with many people, and you don't know who to come, you will have leftovers. Sometimes more than you can. I don't know what. Don't know word for that.
Predict, probably. Yeah.
Predict, maybe. Yes, more than you can set up. Like that. So, like that.
Okay.
I agree. It's the only events which I can imagine. So I can't imagine my wife cooking for 12 persons, and they ask me, "Where is your friends?" Okay, let's throw it. It's impossible. Let's go to the next question. There's one question from me, but I just wrote it to practice a new vocabulary. When you buy vegetables, can you get a little gnarly, a little blemish one, or only perfect one? Diana.
Well, I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Okay,
about... And for that, we have a teacher, Lee. He can explain everything.
Explain the question. Gnarly, yeah.
He's saying, can you buy imperfect fruit and vegetables in the grocery store? Like the speaker said, in America, if people pick up an apple and it has a soft spot, or the banana's a little black, people won't buy it. So the grocery stores only put out perfect fruit and vegetables. So do your grocery stores sell fruits and vegetables with blemishes that people can buy those?
Yes, they do. They sell this fruit, but I should admit that, fruit and vegetables are kind of expensive, right? If it is imported fruit and vegetables. So of course I choose better one. I don't want to cut the half of that later on because it is so expensive. So that's another waste which I cannot afford, So, but here people grow vegetables. We grow vegetables. So, and we use all vegetables we grow, of any type. So it's not a problem. That's why when we buy something which does not grow in our garden, so then we can afford to be a little picky, I should say. So
you are not going to make world a better place, right?
No, sorry. I'm not rich enough to do that.
Yes, but
we live in a poor country. We live in a poor country, so that's not for us to make this world better. Sorry.
Okay. Gerard, what about you?
Okay, there is a case where uglier vegetables are more expensive. It's the case of organic vegetables. So the organic vegetables are usually uglier, but they are more expensive.
Yeah.
Right. Because I have heard many thoughts about that. Like if it's have a rotten place, it's organic. It's not something like made from chemistry or something like that. Lynn, what about you? When you buy vegetables, do you buy only perfect ones?
We don't buy vegetables from a grocery store. We buy them from the market.
Yes. And when you buy it in the market, you choose only perfect ones.
Yeah,
or
I prefer perfect ones.
Yeah, nobody likes rotten fruit, Why?
if I got the speaker right, because it's make our world better.
Okay.
So when you buying rotten fruit, you just helping other people, because without you.
She was not talking about rotten fruit, of course. I was just exaggerating, of course. But yeah. If it is just a little flaw, that's not a problem for me. I can cut it out. That's not a problem. And they say that the blacker the banana is, the healthier it is. So it should have more black spots. That's why it has more something. I don't know. They're just trying to, to prove this point for people to buy black bananas, I think.
Okay, Leila?
You can find a lot of fresh vegetables and fruit in my country. there are a lot of open markets everywhere. For example, let me think. You can buy 3 kilos of tomatoes for $1. Fresh tomatoes. But the thing is that we never buy ugly food. Like Diane said, we try to choose the best one when we go to the market. But to tell you the truth, after I watched this video, I started thinking of what they are doing with the ugly food afterwards.
We had an answer. They go to landfills or something like that and pollute the atmosphere, the world.
Yeah.
How can they pollute the atmosphere, like the vegetables?
I don't know. It's speaker said because it's methane pollution or something like that.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely natural process, you know. Like vegetables, they rot. They should be put in the special places, you know, and then it will be, how to call that, the thing which helps other things grow. How to call that? I forgot the word. Like the
fertilizer.
Yes, like a fertilizer or something. So
Compost.
yeah, it should be put into, not with plastic, of course, not in plastic containers. So, but
Diana,
okay.
Diana, I almost convinced that these people can buy that rotten vegetables, and you just break this up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gerard, please.
The problem is this fruit that is not going to be sold. It's going to go to the landfills and get rotten. So this process makes methane gases, who also pollute. So it's a double negative effect.
Okay, but what if people never, collect these apples? If they grow on in the forest, then fell down on the earth, should we save the world from that?
Yes, let's cut all the apple trees. There will be less methane.
These apple trees are cultivated to produce apples. Yeah. You know, you need to care about an apple tree to make a lot of apples.
Well, but
it's not natural.
Yes, but aside of jokes, I think the speaker had a point here, because the landfill is usually compact area. So it's not like in the real nature. We put all these rotten fruits in the one place, and it can be catastrophe because of that, because it's flooded like that. So in real life, maybe it's not a problem. I mean, in wild nature, but can be if people do something extra. So let's go to the next question. I very enjoyed the explanation about Good Samaritan. I don't know how to pronounce it. How Good Samaritan law, and it's a very good concept. Let's speak about that for a while. Let's start from that. Who understands what is that? Gerard?
Yes, it comes from a parable of the Bible, but actually Jesus explained this parable. It was a guy who was injured, and first one priest passed next to him and he didn't do nothing. After another guy also, an important guy also did nothing, and then a Samaritan who were not very friendly with Jews helped this guy. So that's the parable of the Good Samaritan, because even a Samaritan not being a friend of Jews, he helped this injured guy all the same.
Okay, but how it became to be a Good Samaritan law?
A law? You mean a law?
Law.
That this law is made to protect people who wants to help, so they cannot be sued because maybe the food is not in perfect condition, you know. So to prevent people from saying, okay, I cannot help because I can be sued because the law doesn't protect me. So this law was made by President Clinton to encourage people and organizations, restaurants, and grocery shops to give their food, excess of food.
Is it only about food? Can I don't know, can I pass bricks to homeless people? It works? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. With clothes, for instance. Also, here in Spain, we collect clothes for poor people, to help poor people.
Teacher Lee?
A Good Samaritan can apply to anything. We have a lot of cases in the U.S. where someone will have a car accident along the highway. They'll have a car crash, and a guy will be injured and bleeding in the car. And people will stop their cars and get out and help that person and call an ambulance and so forth. Many cars will stop. So we have a lot of Good Samaritans that when they see someone in trouble, they stop and try to help. So a Good Samaritan can be anything, any kind of help at all, someone in dire need.
And it saves people from being sued or from some, how we call it, from something bad in future, right?
I don't know about the laws exactly. I know in the past, when I was growing up, let's say in a restaurant, somebody falls down, they're having a heart attack. A Good Samaritan goes over and gives him CPR. He lives, but he's got brain damage. Guess what happens? The family sues the Good Samaritan because they made that person have brain damage. If he hadn't done anything, the guy would have died. He saved his life and gets punished because it didn't come out with a 100% perfect result. It's not the Good Samaritan's fault there was brain damage, but the family's greedy and angry and they want to punish someone. So usually the good guy gets punished. That's why a lot of people want to help, but they're afraid to help because they know this has happened in the past.
Well, for me, it looks like a very good idea. Really, I envy you guys because we don't have this, and sometimes it's prevent us to do good things. We discussed it once, and it's exactly why I can't donate some some things for construction to other people, because I just don't want to have problems after. Because if this thing will not be very good, so I envy you. It's very good solution. Gerard, do you have something like that in Spain?
I don't know if we have this Good Samaritan law. What I can say is not people doesn't sue as usual as usual as in the United States, because it costs a lot of money to pay to the lawyers, and if you lose the process, you are going to pay everything.
Well, but as Teacher Lee provided us example, I donated some food, some wood. Someone built a house collapsed, people injured, and I be in trouble. And for that, no one needs to sue me. Don't know how to say it, because the government will do that. It's not people don't need money to punish me. The government will punish me without their will. So that's why no one trying to help.
Yeah.
in this way. Leila, what about Turkey?
No, in the past, we used to help each other under any circumstances. But now, if you want to help somebody, you have to think a lot of times, because sometimes these are fake people, doing a lot of things in order to make you, just give money. Or if the person is injured or something happens, the police arrests you. Just forget suing, they arrest you at once. So now we don't help each other, which is really, really sad. Once I wanted to help somebody who is on the pavement. People stopped me and told me, "Don't do that because you will be in trouble." This is the situation.
As I mentioned before, I try to help shelters. When I do that, I always do that anonymously. I don't write my names. People can't find me.
How could you manage that?
How? It's simple. I don't provide any documents. Just bring the fodder or how it's food for dogs and go out.
Oh, thank you for the idea.
Lynn, please.
People suing each other is not a common. They don't want to involve in the lawsuit. It takes their time and money. Even if they don't want to involve in the lawsuit. And they got to hire a law and everything. They don't have time or money for that.
Okay. Honestly, I have problem with sound when you speak. I don't understand clearly. So, Gerard, please.
In Spain, if you want to help, I think the best thing to do is go to charity organizations or NGOs. So in this way, they are going to deal with the goods you are going to give to them. So it's their responsibility, not yours.
Yes, it's good if you know where to go. If you know where to go, it's good. Yeah, but for me, it's the same. Just another people, just someone else takes the responsibility. So that organization will suffer if something happens. That's all the difference, at least in my place. So that's why people who are eager to help and create such organization, they lost their effort in few years. After a few accidents, they go out. Please, without me. Like that. Any comments?
Mm-hmm.
No, let's go. Does your government makes any practices to lower the hunger rate? Question from Watsons. Well, I can answer. Our government have some places when you can get food for free. So if you starving, you go in and get some food, and you can get some food. But I never tried, so I don't know. Maybe you need to fill some forms or do something else. I don't know. Can't say. Leila?
I knew that you were going to say no. Unfortunately, no.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I know the reasons. Let's say I don't know. But they don't want to help anybody. So my answer is no.
Okay, it's a system which can be easily abused, right, teacherly?
True.
We have programs where if someone's very poor, they can go to the government and apply for food stamps and say, I don't have money to buy food. And the government will, I guess, verify they don't have money and will give them food stamps every month. Food stamps like a voucher. So they can take their food stamps to the grocery store and buy food. That's the idea. Now what happens, Americans are very cynical because we see so many good things abused. People will see other poor people go to the store with food stamps. They'll use it to buy alcohol or something. And then they'll turn around and sell it to the guy right next to them for cash. So some people abuse the food stamp program by not using it for food for their family. And when Americans see that kind of abuse, we start hating the food stamp program because it's not being used correctly to help the people it's intended to help in the way it's intended to help them. So Americans, we kind of look good and bad at charity programs because we've seen so much cheating going on.
Yes, sadly. Well, in past we have some perfect system. It's yes, and the system was like that. Every citizen passed 2% of his food to the church, and church, local church, will feed everyone who asked. So, but it was from 16th century or like that. I don't know exactly.
Wow.
So kind of oldie house, rusty system. Now it doesn't work. But church still provides some food for people who needs it, but I don't know how. So Leila, please.
The thing is that there was a huge earthquake in my country, and a lot of European countries, America and other countries sent food to the people there. Sometime later, I just went out to the open market, and I saw that the people they sent were being sold there. So, what I mean is, you can have a very good aim, but people unfortunately abuse this.
Yes. It's how people, how humans are. So I think it's a world problem. It can be
Yeah.
problem or something else. Okay, distribution must be honest, right? But again, my question is why we need a second wave of distribution? We have one already. I mean, money. We have one system of distribution foods. And we're trying to build another. So that's why we have some simple question from Fosans, really simple one. What is the reason for hunger? Who can answer?
I wanted to ask you first question. You said that we have a distribution system, but this distribution system only works for people who have money. So the second system is for people who don't have money. So necessary second distribution system.
I don't know what to answer. In my opinion, the money in real world is in modern world is some essential thing. You need to earn some money. If you don't do that, something goes wrong. It looks like you not a member of the society. Of course, it doesn't apply to children because they not a members yet. Any thoughts? Maybe someone can answer better.
Some things can cause hunger that are beyond your control. Sometimes we have droughts or insects destroy a crop so that in a certain area where you would normally have enough food, some natural disaster wipes out the food supply for 1 year and people can't get enough food that they would normally have. So that's one case.
Right. Diana, why are you so quiet today? I'm scared.
No. It's just very optimistic, very nice topic. I enjoy discussing that. Yeah.
She's busy eating.
Yes, makes me really hungry. The topic, right? So, yeah, actually in the chat, I'm reading the chat, and Holly said something about the mental and physical disabilities, jobless people. So how about people with disabilities? Are they like half a member of the society? Because usually those people that receive the social aid or something, like at least in my country, they receive aid, which is, well, okay, to say they are not enough to make their ends meet. You know, it's impossible to survive on that money. So, well, what was my point? The distribution system which exists now does not include those people at all. you know, so they are excluded from everywhere. So they cannot buy food. I cannot even say about the, you know, clothes or something like that. It's, well, and you are saying that distribution system is working. It is not working. It's not like, it's the very, very deep problem in the society, in the fairness of the society.
Okay, I don't argue with that. I don't argue with that. But in my opinion, when you're trying to repair some system by providing another system, now you have two problems. And you need to build a third system, and you will have three problems, and so on. So if you have something broken, repair that. If you have some distribution system broken, please don't build another one, because you will have two problems, two broken systems. That was my point. And when I said working, it's nice that you mentioned that, but I mean that it works somehow. I don't mean that it's probably I said running better or something like that. So it works somehow. I don't say it works perfect.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, better to provide better allowance, or how we call it, to people with disabilities, than building another system of helping to them. It's in my opinion, like that. Feel free to disagree. Gerard?
I don't think it's possible to have a perfect system, because the natural condition of mankind, of people, selfishness, dishonesty, you know. So if people were more altruistic, more compassionate, thinking more with about the others, so that would help our society, and everything would be different.
That's right. I agree. I agree that system can be perfect, but in the second system we will have all the same problems. As Diana mentioned, for instance, in some charity organization, there are a lot of fake charity organization, right? Which used you. So it's the second system, which is also broken in another way. So I don't know how to solve it. Don't ask me. But I just think that it's not a way to. Well, I adore these people who do this cleaning teamwork. They are good. It's a very good system. But in the same time, that system allow politicians don't think about this problem, because I
agree.
It's solved somehow. Why should we care? We will care about, I don't know, yachts and buildings or something else, because like that. And I don't know how to solve it in a good way.
You see, she mentioned the law, the French law, I think, which prohibited the what was that? Oh my goodness, I cannot think straight. I'm sorry. So the markets cannot throw out the unsold fruit and vegetables, right? Or food which is spoiled. So which is good, you know. So probably they will. Give it to some charity organizations and let them redistribute that. So probably this is the part of the solution. I don't know.
It sounds very good, the solution. I don't know, do we have the same or not? But probably we have. Why I think so? Because in our supermarkets we have a special department where all these foods are selling for small price.
We do have that here, right?
Yes. So why they do that? I don't think I don't know, but it looks like some regulations. But what people do if they can't sell this? What they do? They just ask some homeless to bring this to buy it for this $1 and waste it somehow. So it's the same. They just spend $1 to that homeless person. They grab all the fruits and waste it in the same place. So this law can protect us for this from this.
Cannot protect.
Yes, cannot. Yes, and I don't look on the time, but because I lost my English, I know it's a time.
Okay, it's about time, right?
So nice conversation as always.
Yeah.
We will try to have a better topic next time. Something with joy, with celebration, with dance.
To prove, yes, that not all people are so bad. About some altruistic people next time, please.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you.